Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie. He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.
Alright, bonjour. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, I guess, for some of you. How's it going? Here to watch the death of the crypto market. Which will fade to zero, right in front of our eyes. How's everyone feeling? Bullish? Bearish? Game over? Just a pullback? What's the vibe to the viewers? Any bets in the chat? Any gamblers? Stable. What do you think this was the move? We've been in a range for a month and people are losing it. Yeah. Watch yourself get fucked too many times with this PA. Oh, it's fair, man. It's very self-aware. Very self-aware. Hard to say. Oof. Halving meme, DCA, let's go. So back. Not touching, shorting obvious levels and alts. Well, this is what makes a great market, everyone. Everyone's got different views. It's quite split. I like it when it's split. It always worries me a little bit when everyone is just consensually, like, just bull when we're in up only mood. Or mode, as is also known. Close your longs. When you do that, it means they're going to pump. Bottom of the range for now. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's like, I don't know, man. I think people are getting so excited. Like, over, you know, you go to a weekly chart, like, where was today's move? I just, yeah. Maybe I'm being too simple. But yeah, my bias is more up. We'll get into it. We'll get into it because I'm sure that's what you're here for. You're not here to check on each other's opinions. We're gonna have a bit of debate, and we're gonna talk about the wonders of Doge as well, and whether that's going to $1, because clearly it is, right? We've just got to time it. But no, I mean, higher time frame. I think Bitcoin is at, like, I posted the other day. You know, it's a pretty significant high time frame pivot. Doesn't really matter sort of how you draw it, but those of you who are, you know, who have been to my streams before know that what I quite like is if you've got price action up here and you've got price action under here and you've got a level that's kind of being respected or you know, hasn't been respected yet, you've got a very clear invalidation for kind of a bull or bear thesis, right? And right now we are like here on BTC, and that's kind of all I can see. It doesn't mean that I'm looking aggressively for shorts, because, you know, in the context of what we've had the last, well, let's go to a daily chart. You know, in the context of what we had this year, you know, it's been a pretty fucking strong uptrend. And whilst this is a call off on momentum, you know, from a daily perspective, we're still just about holding that 50 level. So if you were thinking, you know, is this a cool off before the next leg up? Quite reasonably, you could say yes. Yes, it is. And if you're saying, well, actually momentum is dying as we have sort of moved up with a few pullbacks in it, I'd get your point as well. And you're taking a short at a very pivotal level for BTC, which, you know, perfectly acceptable. For me, you'll see that my alerts was up here, and that was where I was talking about if I wanted to get on the short side, I would want to see an attempt above this pivotal level, and then a failure, rejection below, and then that's where I get on board of a short position. Now, I'm not in any short positions at the moment, so, you know, missed the generational shorting opportunity, which I actually think was back here. If that's your bias, because if you are short bias right now, then you don't really want us to see. You don't really want to see us like moving back up to this level, because, you know, we've attempted this level quite a few times, and any more strength from BTC, you know, I think it just smashes through. So, you know, in the context of this move, let's have a peek of this. You know, are we really going to get super bearish? You know, okay, it's at resistance, but we've had a reasonable move off, but it's not even that big. Do you know what I mean? It's not even that dramatic. People getting bearish at this, kind of understand, but, you know, this so far isn't looking too bad. So it's kind of my thoughts on BTC. And, you know, again, contextually, we've had ETH BTC break out of this range, and we've had ETH break out of this. Whether this just, you know, fully retraces, deviation, comes back under, yada yada yada, who knows? But at the moment, it hasn't done that. You know, consider it as a breakout until it isn't, right? Get that magic 2K number that everyone on Twitter seems to be banging on about. You know, from an RSI perspective, still got plenty of room to go. I'm fairly comfortable just looking for longs still, and I'll take a short opportunity if I get it. But I would rather that opportunity be on BTC than on alts. I'll come on to a couple of alts where I'm looking at potential shorts setups, but that's kind of my thought process around BTC. You know, major pivot, still room to go on daily, still bullish. Slight momentum divergence across there, with both AO and RSI, but, you know, really, I'm not getting too upset just yet, unless we saw a major rejection, like I spoke about. Is that pretty clear? And Moon Magus, so sorry, wrong stream. Hey, have you just got me confused with Magus? I'm both flattered and insulted at the same time. I don't think we sound very alike, to be honest. This is your stream now. Yeah. I mean, you basically sponsor this stream. Magus has paid for my lunch for the last however many weeks, months, years. With Twitter subs. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty clear on BTC. Like, for me, I don't really want to be along BTC. Like, if we are in a scenario where, you know, Bitcoin is going to do this, then just imagine what alts are going to do. You know, especially with ETH-BTC looking reasonably good, and some alts showing a bit of strength, although they're not right at this moment in time. BTC Magus traded Charlie. That's a compliment to be confused with you. Yeah. But like, this for me isn't really my bread and butter anymore, despite the fact that my name is BTC Charlie, which is, you know, bit of an error in judgment. Above 26.5 BTC, it's reasonably bullish. 26.5. Yeah, I mean, I think we've broken out of this range down here, and if you call that deviation or accumulation, whatever you want to call it, yeah, this is a 9-month long range. I think there's more upside than this. I'm going to stick with my bullish bias. You know, am I bullish at resistance? Yes, I am. Does that mean I'm longing into it? No. Does it mean I'm looking for opportunities on altcoins whilst BTC is strong and there's potential to play longs on alts? Yes, yes it does. So that's kind of my thought process. And yeah, we can talk about Dogecoin, because Dogecoin, I actually tweeted about it. Where is it? I actually tweeted about it the other day, and it was a bit frustrating because I had COVID, and you might see or hear that I'm a little bit, not out of breath, just not my usual self. And I've definitely been a bit slow. I've been writing a presentation today for the group, and fuck me, I've just done the same thing about 20 times, and it's just... I'm definitely not firing on all cylinders, put it that way. How comfortable am I trading 100-point moves on Bitcoin and what's left of the year? Absolutely none. But yeah, as I was saying on Doge, I tweeted something that was like, do I long Doge or do I short all the altcoins under the sun? And the reason I had that mindset was because back here, ETH-BTC, you know, was still in this range. It looked like garbage. I started to assess down here that it was actually just going to be continuation, which, you know, evidently turns out to be wrong. And that was on the basis of, you know, we lost fairly sort of key level up here. It looked like that this was going to just deviate and just start cascading down. To be honest, I thought that's probably the end of, you know, risk on alts. Absolutely got proved wrong, particularly with Doge, of course. But when I saw Doge looking like, where are we at? Like this, I basically said in the group, if there is any form of signs of life on Doge, I will be logging the shit out of it. I happened to grab the laptop at about 5 o'clock on Saturday because my wife and child wanted to watch a film, and I was like, let's have a look. Yeah, so I was basically watching it in here with a tiny bit of momentum on spaghetti, and this was like a trade that I planned out beforehand, and it just literally ran. Well, I think I closed it somewhere in there. Well, I did. That's where you've got the markings. Then obviously the other day, when we saw that wonderful logo change on twitter.com, I think everyone and their dog just marked it in, and we basically got the same trade, exactly the same trade, with round 2. So that was, you know, that was absolutely mental. I can't remember what my entry was, but it was pretty good. It was in the first minute or so. How many of you actually got this Doge pump? Did any of you trade it? Did any of you long it? Instead of longing the pump, I missed it and tried to short. That did not go well. Yeah. I think I saw a lot of people actually short it. And I think I'm not a news trader by default, but by proxy, I'm a news trader. And I'll tell you what I mean by that, which is I'm not sat here longing or taking position, or shorting even, and taking positions off the news. But what I will often see is that I've taken a position in something like Doge. So I saw Doge do this on spaghetti. We can go to it actually, and we can have a peep. So where are we at? Let's say Monday, 1835. Let's peep. Might need to go a little bit lower time frame. A little bit higher time frame, sorry. You longed, got a few K, exit at 0.085. Lovely. Been long from 0.065. What a Chad. It's not going to work, is it? We've just broken TradingView. Lovely. It's gone well. But I mean, we'll scroll back the old-fashioned way then, shall we? You know, imagine we're on a 1 minute. Actually, let's do this. There we go, we've shaded the game. You know, this is the thing, is that on Spaghetti, do you need to know that something is going on to just know that that is Doge along the shit out of it? Especially given the other day, you know, Doge was already on my radar, and then you see this. And one thing that really jumped out at me was just the size of the volume candle that initiated it. Usually, no, I've generally got Doge on my radar. I mean, Doge is always on here. Doge is always on Spaghetti. But hey Shira, probably butchered your name, haven't I? I think it's all right. It's a good guess anyway. So yeah, it was highlighted because of my previous trade, but it's always on here. And if I see Doge going for it, then usually I'm quite quick to flick to it and grab a position. 3 dogs leading. Well, actually, if you look closely, I mean, I'm generally on the 1, or I'll see if it works. Have I actually deleted Doge? Lovely. I don't even think I clicked Doge, but okay. It was just literally not loading it because it's great work, TradingView. Great work. Where the fuck has Doge gone? See, I'm not sure if I'm on drugs or not. No, it's literally not calculating it. Perfect. But regardless, you know, we just saw before TradingView decided to absolutely cuck me. That's it. TradingView is racist against dogs, everybody. There we go. So it works on a 15-second time frame. Great. Lovely stuff. But yeah, you can see that it leads. And that's what tends to happen, right? Is, you know, Doge will lead Floki and Shib and all the other dog coins that you can see up there. And then Mask seems to catch a bid generally with anything Doge or Elon related, because it's a, you know, people, I guess, confuse Mask with Musk, but also Mask is probably one of the top contenders for integration with Twitter in terms of its functionality. Probably delete that specific time frame for Doge. I don't even know how I would do that, my friend. I know it's easy money, but how are people not bored with Elon and Doge? Yeah, I know. I kind of feel the same as well, to be honest. It's getting progressively weaker though, if you look. So, you know, if you assume that this is the end of Doge, right? Which I'm not saying it is. I personally don't think it is. Not forever, obviously. And I even don't think that this little mini run is particularly done. But, you know, this initial run when Musk bought Twitter, far more interesting than all the memery that he's doing now. And even this, from a simple market structure perspective, is that bouncing ball pattern, isn't it? And then this is kind of a, just about, if you squint, deviation above this one. So I actually think that people are getting bored of it. And, there were two scams lately. One is the OPNX, whatever it's called, the exchange by Suzu and the 3AC boys, scamming everyone again. And they did, they wanted to restate that their daily volume wasn't $1, it was $13 today. $13. That's the full amount. Not 13,000, not 13 million, $13. Which just means that nobody's falling for their bullshit, which is great. And then Soldier Boy did his NFT collection and minted out 0.518, which is $999 or $990 odd. So, I think it's safe to say that the majority of the redacteds aren't here anymore. Now, that's good in the sense of, this is a lower competition market, I guess, in terms of participants. But those, well, actually, no, it's a highly competitive market in terms of the people who are left are more likely to have a better edge than you. But as someone's just said, I see, I sleep. We're healing. We are cleansing all of the idiots, and we are also cleansing the scammers, unironically. So, as a market, it feels like it's evolving a little bit. Because people aren't falling for that bullshit. People aren't throwing the money at anything. And just, hyping stuff up. And falling for the same old bullshit by the same old scammers. We're all going to make it, just need Binance to collapse. Yeah, I don't really get that logic. I mean, Binance collapsing would be pretty horrific for the industry, I think. Given that it's one that's permeated, quite a lot of households. I also think that, the damage that FTX did was incredible. And how we've recovered from that, even in this space of time, is quite mind-boggling, really. But yeah, I don't understand the people who are praying for Binance collapse. Unless you are heinously short, but then equally, the contagion from that, to use that horrible word, would be pretty awful. And what good is your crypto if there's kind of no fiat off-ramps? You can't pay for much in crypto. You can pay for bits. Purely because you're an idiot who keeps everything on Binance, I pray it doesn't collapse. Yeah, I mean, I can do my little lecture on counterparty risk if you want, and I'm not going to FUD Binance, not at all. I think Binance is a fantastic company. I think they are, a great addition to the space. I think they've done a hell of a lot for the space over its existence. And, I owned a lot of BNB when it was very cheap and sold it all for pittance, as a lot of people did with a lot of coins. But you should probably think about splitting your capital across multiple exchanges, multiple wallets, and just really diversifying your risk. Because as we saw with FTX, these things happen. And sometimes, it's not their fault. They obviously don't intend to. They're not covering anything up or whatever. But, it could be something like ETH collapsing. Go hardware to hold? Yeah, there's loads of things you can do. But I definitely wouldn't recommend putting all your eggs in one basket, especially if you're not actively trading with that capital. Unironically, it's the only good usage of leverage. So if you've got a $100,000 portfolio, you can keep $10,000 of it on an exchange and use 10x leverage and have the same effect as if you were trading with the full amount, but you've only got a tenth of it on an exchange that is then subject to that counterparty risk. So, yeah. I don't want to babble on about that because it's a bit fucking boring, isn't it? And people don't tend to like that. Yes. Also, enough self-relatio. We got 2 lovely Doge trades, which was quite nice actually because I fucked up an ARB trade at the start of the week. That's how I fucked it up. I literally thought, I'll talk you guys through it so you'll see my thought process. What is that red? Horrific. To be honest, I think it was something like this. I thought we were going to move basically out of this. Was it here? Monday. Yeah, it was Monday at some point. Just because I don't like just talking about dubs. So I was looking at something, yeah, kind of like this. Something like that. And I was looking at Monday morning, yeah, I was looking at this. Basically a break from this. I just assumed continuation, so I got in actually probably a little bit lower. I think I bought some there and then in that candle, and maybe averaged up a little bit and then just round trip most of it. So that was my start of the week, and then basically the rest of the day was doing fuck all, waiting for some form of monstrous bounce, which never came, and then Doge happened, and then that was it. You can see where Kobe influenced price. Yeah, I mean that was hilarious, wasn't it? Like, it's so good, so good. I think the thing that I find funny about all of this kind of stuff is that, you know, a lot of people piss and moan about the market and about, oh my god, it's manipulated, oh my god, it's like this, he said, someone tweeted, influencers are shilling, like, everything's fucking manipulated. Like, look at the banks, look at how much they get fined on an annual basis for fraudulent bullshit. Like, the whole system's rugged. So don't, you know, I never understand. Oh yeah, and in terms of Kobe, like, he was just passing on information. I'm so manipulated, yeah, I'm a Fed. Hands up, motherfuckers, you're all under arrest. I'm logging all of your details. In fact, can you donate something to the stream so that I've got your credit card details and I can find you for touching cryptocurrency. I'm actually Elizabeth Warren. I just put on a good male British accent. It was all in the order flow, bro. Yeah, exactly. I could have told you that. Send my Harmony 1 coins your way? You can, mate. I'll give you the 3 numbers at the back of the card too. Yeah, if you could. I need those, actually. Noob. Oh, cheers, Wayne. Definitely have to check out with all the FUD news. You're making money or prices manipulated. Yeah, that's kind of it. Like, I see a lot of fucking moaning on the timeline about, you know, altcoins in general, and that they're so illiquid and they're so, like, shit. It's like, people want volatility and then they don't want to touch altcoins, and I just don't understand it. It's like, why would you not? If you're hungry for volatility, why would you not want this? Why would you not want some actual rotations, some actual movement? I can hear Synthwave in the background. Link, please. Of course, that is the alpha that we provide, my friend. There you go, look, straight there. That was so quick. Why is everyone bearish as fuck after a slight move down? The fuck is going on? How can I put it? If you ever need your windows cleaning, you can ask like 3/4 of crypto Twitter just to come around your house. And just leave them in the room for the day, and then you'll come back and they'll be fully clean for you. I mean, that's the candle that ended it all. This one right here. That's it. That's it. Pack it up, boys and girls. It's over. To be honest, mate, I'm trying to imply they're window lickers, but not sure I'm allowed to say that. But I did. So there you go. I think everyone's like super sensitive bull bags. Probably because they didn't catch the Doge trade, which was like the easiest trade of the year, I think. I mean, I had to explain to my wife how much I made because the picture on Twitter changed to a dog. I trained for fucking years to be an accountant to get like a relatively mediocre / slightly good salary, I suppose. And then I just pressed a button because a picture changed from a bird to a dog. Like, and that's one for the journal as well, right? Like, how do you explain that to normal people? How do you explain that I just made your annual salary by clicking a button because Elon Musk changed a picture from a bird to a dog? Like literally. Some people just don't realise how fucking lucky they are to be in this space. I'll tell you that much. Can't tell me we aren't in a deep simulation with shit like that. Yeah, exactly. And that's it. It's just beyond. Yeah, I mean, charts are interesting, right? Because, you know, there's a lot of discussion around TA, technical analysis. Does it work? Does it not? You know, I've told you on BTC already how it's kind of informing my bias and how I'm using it to assess how I'm going to trade. And that's fine. That's for me, right? So, you know, that's how I interpret the data. That's well within my rights to do it. You can interpret it the complete other way. You can say, look, this has actually failed. This has failed this level so many times now, you know, we can't break through. There's obviously infinite supply here. We're never getting through. And, you know, the 7th time was the time to short it. And now it's going to absolute zero, right? You're well within your right to do the same. What this does for me normally is it just gives me invalidation. So if I want to go long here, where am I wrong? I'm probably wrong there, aren't I? Not that I'll obviously get that entry, but you know. And then does that look like something I want to take? No, I mean it's Bitcoin anyway, but you kind of get the point, don't you? It's not, you know, it's not a be all and end all. I mean, I would argue that spaghetti is much, much, much better. And that's why I love spaghetti. And it is nice to see that my position is actually in the top 2. What platform do I use to trade? Oh, thank you, Devil Wears Kappa. So what you can do is you can sign up to Bybit below, use my ref link for some fees off. I think it's like 20% off or some shit. And my eternal gratitude. But yeah, I use Bybit. And I don't use any other exchanges. I tell a lie. I've got a Binance account, an institutional one, and a personal one, but ever since they culled GBP cash outs, I haven't used them. Spaghetti Pipo Fat. Yeah, spaghetti is so good. It's literally, I don't know why people don't like altcoins, because this is such a cheat sheet as to what to trade. And like, if you're scanning alts every day and you're looking at levels and you're marking up charts and you're doing a combination of price action, momentum, and spaghetti, I don't know. It's what makes sense to me, right? And what makes sense to me might not make sense to you. But it gives you, like, there's probably 3 or 4 times a year where spaghetti will give you what I would call a free trade, where you will see every other alt do this and be piss-assing around doing nothing, and then one just go like that and just absolutely start detaching from the pack. And if you're fast enough, you can get on. Especially if it's one that you've got a theory about already. So if you think that, good example actually now is probably LDO and stuff like LDO. You know, anything with the whole ETH or liquid staking narrative. You know, are we gonna make all of this look like consolidation? I mean, very fucking choppy consolidation. But are we gonna have some sort of, you know, assuming ETH continues to be bullish into a Shanghai upgrades? You know, is this just gonna look like a little bizarre range? Bit of a shit range. Kind of regret doing this now, to be honest. But you get the point. You know, close above here. Start going. What time frame would look at 1 hour? The 1 hour chart, my friend. But yeah, if you've got a theory that says, I think LSDs are back on the menu, boys and girls, and you know, you had this kind of meme line, it's a bit shit actually as well, when you zoom in, meme line drawn, and then you saw that actually down here, LDO is one of the strongest. You've suddenly got a really nice higher time frame setup for, you know, a scalp turn swing. You know, do you want to keep that going? Well, maybe what you're doing is just targeting range high, and you're happy to just move your stop to break even or move your stop down to here. You know, trend following. So you're using higher time frame to inform your lower time frame rotational plays. SDG is unstoppable. Oh yeah, Cringe was playing SDG. I haven't even looked at SDG for a long time. Oh yeah. Nice liquidity, bruv. That's Binance US, classic. Of course, Charlie. I was gonna say, I thought I had it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it is pretty unstoppable. Pretty strong. It's not very clean, is it? Do you use market orders usually? Find the slippage on alt and buy the futures pretty bad sometimes. They aren't even big size by any means. I try and limit chase, but sometimes I market. And yeah, you can get slipped. But they do. Sorry, my wife's just texting me. So like Doge, with Doge the other day I marketed in. I literally just fully yeeted in because there's times when you can get. So like let's do two scenarios, right? Let's talk about two scenarios around execution. So one is, do we talk about this? Yeah, we'll talk about this. It's fine. I think I was looking at my black and white chart, wasn't I? Yeah, I was. So, I'm currently in a little arb position, and some of you might be able to tell me why. I mean, I hope most of you can, to be honest. It's marked up on the fucking chart. Anyone? Anyone chime in? It's good, Div. Yeah. It's alright, innit? It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. On the customary 10-minute time frame. And there we are. We got along the highest beta shitcoin of the day. What happens now? You get my eternal gratitude. I feel like I need to I need to flex that on cryptotwitter.com. Hello guys, I have got a 3% move in the bag. Many thanks, Charlie. But what I won't tell you is that I also took a rotation up here. So here, 9:45. I don't know. It was in the group, but I already took an L today on it. So, you know. Oh, shit. Why 10-minute time frame? Why not? To be honest, I don't use the 10-minute very often, but it's one of the few alts. So I was looking at, when was the rotation? Got a feeling it was like, let me just check. Put it in the group. My god, we've got a lot of bloody messages today, haven't we? Oh no, maybe I didn't. Rip. I think it was this. Yeah, it was this. There was a really good rotation on ARB earlier. Maybe I made it up. Maybe it was all a dream. Maybe it was all a dream. What was this one? Must have been this. Yeah. We'll claim it was this. Yeah, it was a nice rotation on ARB. I could go back over my old trades. But, 16... No, I don't know. It's fucking that rotation there. But anyway, there was a nice one earlier, and it was on a 15-second time frame. I think it did 1.5%. It wasn't super impressive, but it kind of put it on my radar. And we also talked to the group about how it was approaching this high time frame pivot, and that I personally didn't want to just yeet long into resistance, but I could see a scenario where it just did that, which just literally blasts up. Particularly with, as I said, ETH BTC being risk on, ETH doing pretty well, ETH breaking out that range, blah blah blah. Like all of those things combined tell me that not a bad time to be in alts, and the probability of this having a strong move is actually quite high. So do I want to, same with the Doge trade, actually, the first Doge trade, do I want to just take a blind position like this? No. What will add to my confidence and confidence that this is actually going to play out? Well, it's when Spaghetti is doing this and ARB is doing this. When we're actually seeing that this is an attempt at a breakout. And, am I happy to take that trade? Yeah, absolutely. Might I lose it? Yeah. Might I lose it like this? Like, what's my confidence? I'm long in resistance. That seems pretty bad. But what's my confidence in this scenario? Well, I've got the ETH thought process. I've got confirmation that the rest of the market thinks the same thing. And I'm almost helping my own philosophy, aren't I? And I would rather get into it early and take an L or maybe even two, and then make up for it on the third time. But actually, where we were today, this would have been the third time. So, if you've ever watched Crypto Cred and his kind of concept of, well, it's probably not his concept, but every time you touch that resistance, supply gets ever so slightly diminished, and the more times you do it, the more likely you are to break through. So, yeah, that whole thought process and narrative kind of added up to it being on my radar. And 10-minute was just a, yeah, this is actually pretty juiced with that triple div. Don't know what time frames clash. I mean, technically every time frame clashes. So you know, if you're like, right, let's do it this way. Right, my average entry is, let's say it's there. I don't know. I actually don't know where it is. Let me take a peep. Average entry is actually pretty fucking good. Jesus Christ. I went pretty hard on that last little dip, to be fair. So my average entry is 12185, which is like down here. And, you know, if I said to you, I'll let you guys judge me. This is my trade. How do you think that's going to pan out for me? We'll do a little bit of live educating. Horrid. Ain't happening with Bitcoin though. Straight up to zero, like woof. Any other ideas? 117 got out before the dump. FOMO back in real now. RSI looks good. I think you shit yourself in curly and then it does 100x. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I think that's it. Up to $1 million. I mean, it's just going to be the global reserve currency. That's what I've been told. Any other thoughts? Optimus, the future of France. So my thought process goes like this. I'm not trying to swing trade. I'm not trying to grab the generational lows. If anything, I think this is more likely to do one of my favourite short setups actually, which is I'm sure one that you've seen 1,000,001 times before, which is the parabolic move up and then the lower high. So, you know, we're almost setting up for that. So I'm going to be looking for signs of weakness on lower time frames. So the opposite of what we had down here. So some form of, you know, price pushing higher, momentum going lower, and generally any form of rotational weakness. Oh, we can also talk about that in a sec. To just get out of it, because, you know, I'm not going to play a 10-15 minutes div into a much higher time frame setup. That was your chair, wasn't it? My chair is... I still need to order another chair, fuck me. My chair is literally... it's falling apart. It is... It's not ideal. I can't pick on a chair. I can't pick a chair. It feels like committing to a marriage, do you know what I mean? Like, I spend so much time with this chair. Probably spend more time with my chair than I do my wife. So, you know, it's got to be the right one. But yeah, thinking I've got the generational bottom with a 10-minute RSI div. Probably not. Have I got a very good entry for a rotation? Absolutely. Absolutely. But as soon as all of this even starts thinking about pointing downwards, or BTC loses, you know, like this level and starts reversing, let's say, you know, starts coming back down. What the fuck have I just done? What the fuck is this? You all didn't see that, I hope. You know, if we start getting some signs of weakness on BTC, then yeah, I'll just take this off. And even when we get back up here, you know, if this isn't like a clean cut move, then I'm just I'd sell here. You know, if we get some form of consolidation, if we start breaking down from that consolidation, I'm out. It's been a nice rotation so far, so That's it. That's all I'm looking for. I'm literally, rotational play. But if I had a daily divergence, which, as you can see, there's not even been 14 periods, which is the standard RSI length. So let's say a 4-hour div, and I had a 4-hour div, into high time frame support. It's a bit janky, but you can start thinking about higher time frame swing positions then, for me personally. What does rotation mean to you? It means when you keep going left or right, and then you spin around, then you get really dizzy. But no, rotation to me is Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. That is literally, right? And in an uptrend, Bitcoin goes up, well then it goes down. And vice versa, in a downtrend. It's really that simple. Now, a rotation, to me, is here to here to here. So that is one full rotation. One full rotation. One full rotation. Which is why, on my spaghetti, you've got these pivots. Now, I don't really consider this to be a rotation, because it actually went down 2/3 of fuck all. It didn't really change direction, right? Whereas when it actually starts changing direction properly and starts pointing down, and you start, changing the direction, that, to me, is a rotation. So, here we're starting to see a bit of weakness, actually. You can watch me close this live. There you go. You can see it. Do you like how I could tell that from spaghetti? So we're at the extremities of RSI, even though it's on the 1 minute. We're starting to sell off. Pretty brutal. So it's like, this is where I'd start thinking about, right, well, do I hold this? Probably not. Should probably put some limits in to give me a... Right, should we just market the whole thing and see if we can print some on the chart? But yeah, usually I'm looking at this on one screen, and with the chart that I'm trading, which is down here, on another. So look at like LDO, for example, absolutely decimated on that move. Dogecoin doing fuck all but low beta. Litecoin. Yeah, sorry, I don't normally open this up when I don't normally stream when I've got any positions on, but it's a nice, interesting one. Do you place the order on Trading View? No, I don't. I probably should, actually. Probably up my speed a little bit. How do you know it's reversing? Sign of weakness, or just a red candle? Because things are easy seen in hindsight. Yeah, 100%. So, for me, generally, there's a couple of ways that I try and do it objectively. So one is any form of, like, I'm not trying to shill the indicators, but it's what I've got, right? And it's a trend following, right? Slap an EMA on there and be objective about said EMA. This, for me, is really, really simple. Bullish above, bearish below, right? If we get a cross of that, you really need to evaluate what you've got and the position that you've got. So that's kind of the mental check for me. And you can see that this move's actually been pretty strong, right? So this isn't looking particularly great. We are probably going to come back and test the CMA, and that's usually where I'll take some of my position off. I can always add back on. So if we do this with the EMA and we go under it, and then we come back over, I can add back on if I want to, but I've managed my risk throughout. What EMA is that, mate? Come on, expect all the source. I think, yeah, it's 33. So yes, and it is always easier in hindsight, obviously. But this is, a pseudo live trade, so. What band the RSI? What? Large positions? What do you mean? No. This is just where it goes So it colours it when it's over 70 or under 30. Nice source. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, to be honest. And it's just a way of mentally... what's wrong with my... You know, it's just a way of mentally evaluating what you're seeing. Sorry, not mentally, just objectively. Because you can see, like, this is now bad, now grey. Should you really be holding onto a long position? Is this the end of the market-wide rotation? Well, it kind of doesn't look particularly great. I probably want to have a look on a couple of other. But yeah, I think I said when we were up here that, you know, this is kind of the start of a bit of weakness, and look what's happened. Like, you kind of get to recognize when actually, you know, shallow pullbacks like that, shallow pullback in terms of, you know, that move, and then actually this is just kind of, right, we've consolidated and, you know, failed almost to break that high. Very weak move up, and yeah, structurally a bit of a stronger move down. It's kind of so before I go on to Inge, the price alert that popped up was to look to short it, and the rationale was exactly the setup that I was talking about before, and you'll see what I mean when we go on to it. But it's actually a higher time frame one. It's mildly irritating. So Inge has been a very, very strong coin, and if you wanted to short anything, like typically shorting high-performing assets is quite difficult, but you know, it's had not quite the perfect parabola, but a pretty strong move up, and especially relative to the rest of the market, which is now broken. And typically, what I like to short is that lower high after it. So that was that alert, that was that thought process, which I'm not just saying as hindsight. I told you that before we flipped the chart. And yeah, it's pretty fucking strong though. So I'm not sure I'd actually want to. Let's do that, and then let's change the color. Want to short it, given that it's actually had a good rotation. Obviously, I planned this before we saw this rotation. We started the stream at 8 o'clock back here. So is there any easy way to get the spaghetti without adding every token one by one? There might be. There might be. Let's see if this one works. I'm on version 150 of it. So yes, this is my version of spaghetti, which coming to a Paragon group near you. But no, generally you just have to go through and add them all manually, I'm afraid, mate. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Or you can use my version of it, which is this one. And then that link's always fresh, so you can use it because I share it, and you can always check it, and I think you have an option up here in the top right to copy it, and then you can just add plus or minus. And generally what I do is I colour them up, the ones that I'm interested in. That will be because I've got a setup pending on them, or just because they've had a few good rotations, and that might be a good indication that actually they're gearing up for a larger move. So yes, I did have a couple of others. We talked about Doge. We didn't really talk about low time frame Doge. I mean, I still think that this is pretty reasonable. I was hoping that we'd actually take this low here, and we'd test that, and then I could long on a reclaim. But that's not what we've got. And Doge strength is basically dead. I think that's me out most of my out position. No. Does it change on our side? We change on my side. I don't think it does. Oh, now it is. Cool. I don't think it does. I think you have to reopen this and then recopy it. But, I mean, if you reopened a new tab with it on now, you would see any changes that I made to it live. So if I, you know, colored this red instead of pink, let's go for super red, and then you reloaded your version of the chart, you wouldn't see it. But if you loaded my version with this link, you would see it, if that makes sense. So yeah, we've done Doge. I mean, it's not a terrible place, just from a simple, you know, continuation long thought process and perspective, but personally I haven't got anything to kind of back it up, other than, you know, the dog is still on Twitter. There's probably going to be some more meme news about it, but, you know, currently that's not enough for me to just take this. Yeah, could just about justify it on a RSI sort of 50 reset or retest basis, but I'll leave it there just in case it works out, and then I'll claim clout and log it with $1 on Bybit just in case, you know, kind of got to do it. No, I'm joking. Hopefully you guys appreciate the honesty and the fact that I quite publicly share my losses as well as my wins. Yeah, cheers, Mike. Catch you later, Chief. Still isn't much of an explanation. It's not gone. Probably more pump to come. Yeah, but I mean, like I tried to explain it earlier, in terms of my trading style, I would much rather see it on here, on low time frame spaghetti, or, you know, on here, and just see it, and just see this start going up while everything else is just doing nothing. Like, that for me is... That for me is the one. Transparency is the key. Yeah, I think a lot of people just pretend that this game is all wins and all green P&L cards. Maybe it is for them, it certainly isn't for me. The best advice I can give to new people is keep your losses small and try and ride your winners, which is the absolute simplest of all thoughts. It's very hard in practice. If only we're all gonna make it. Yeah. I think the other side of it is know who you are. Know your risk tolerances. And if you're here to turn $100 into 100 million, then you probably need to go to the, you know, dodgy side of town with the low caps. I don't know anyone who's made $100 into a million on perps, to be honest. We already know there's a coin page, but probably not Doge. Can imagine the legality nightmare around that. Tree. Is that the Irish for 3, or what are we saying about tree? I like tree. We're talking about tree of alfalfa. Yes, he scraped that, didn't he? Or someone did around the Doge news, or the Doge. Tree of alpha with $1,000 to $1 million. Fair. Didn't realize he started with that little. It looks like the Inge trade would have worked wonderfully, but I wouldn't have taken it anyway, purely because of the strength. And this is what I mean, half the battle is planning trades, seeing things that you didn't expect, like Inge being ridiculously strong, and then invalidating that thesis, and then it working out anyway. Turn 1k to 1 million with one simple trick. Use my ref link. Yeah, well done, musician. That's the one. I'll give your trading fees back if you DM me when you're liquidated. Oh, so the reason that Arby pumped is they proposed locking up the original Family and Friends Fund. Lovely. Right, Proof did the 500 to 350k, did he? Tree got seed funds from hacking Coinbase. My guy. In all fairness, I'm going to end the stream soon because I'm diverging. Yeah, no, I know it's a serious bug bounty. I saw a guy who solved a bug and did the bug bounty thing for, I don't know, someone, and they had 2 billion in the protocol, and his fee, his finder's fee for it was $5,000. It's just like, my brothers in Christ, why did you not just take the money or take some of it and be like, look, you've got an exploit. Yeah, insulting, beyond insulting. But I think it was some bullshit legal technicality around he found it for the next version that they were migrating it to, and because the funds weren't in that, he only got 5k or whatever. She found a way to sell in Coinbase API any coin with the Bitcoin price? No, I think the way it worked was that you... Well, I think you could do it with any asset, couldn't you? Well, I mean, you would do it with the Bitcoin price, obviously, because it's literally the most expensive asset in terms of dollar value. But you could just... yeah, it was like, check collateral. Check collateral number of coins. Oh, I've got 100 million. Ship. Use that number as BTC. Market sell. I mean, that is fucking nuts, isn't it? You could literally have just gone, whoops, there goes the market. I probably would have done it and live streamed it, to be honest, so it's good that the power isn't in my hands. Get in a fight with someone like CZ publicly and they'd be like, I'm nuking your market to 0. Bang. Gone. I wouldn't really. Couldn't do that. I just think like Luna, man. Like, look at all the people who... Yeah, pull a Do Kwon. Like, all the people who lost their life savings for that, chasing that 20 APR thing. It's like, fuck. Luna's scarred me a little bit, though. Personally speaking. Because, like, you know, I've got some funds left over that I just want to, I don't know, stash away for a rainy day. So I was looking at bonds and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, is it really worth tying some money down for a period of time in some banks for, what, 4 or 5%? What if? You know, at least Luna was 20%. You know? But yes. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with some things that I will be personally keeping an eye on. I'm staking Hex. I am staking Hex. I mean, look at my Hex bags. Pray to the glory of Richard.
Right, that's it. We need a bigger car.
Okay. Smart speaker.
Oh,
What's the best family
no YouTube Premium. Whee! Look at Hex. Oof. I'll get mine back in 6 years, 3 months. Diagonal, exactly. It's just up only. This is how SHIB started. Please don't anyone buy Hex. Not now anyway. Yes, let's leave you with some things I'm looking at. I&J, we talked through. Doge, we talked through. ARB, along the bottom is going to infinity. So thank you team for getting my memo and pushing that out. LDO, we talked about as well, and said that if we were, looking to get on board this, we would like to see some form of strength, which we are not seeing. It's actually the exact opposite. So Reclaim Range High could get interested and could be an interesting move up to infinity, especially with the Shanghai upgrade, blah blah blah. Litecoin is actually another, I hate to admit it, but it is in quite an interesting spot in terms of this is a reasonable range, reasonable market structure, and if it just keeps going, I kind of wouldn't be surprised, and then has a fairly explosive move to the upside. This is how SHIB died. I am joking. Ukrainian VPN, we get YouTube Premium almost for free. Perfect. Is ETH going to 3K anytime soon? It's a very good question. But, like any honest person, I don't fucking know. I stand by my earlier prognosis of the market still doesn't look like shit. Still think we're in a reasonable uptrend. I still think breaking out of this consolidation here is pretty good. And if we come back and we retest it and we fuck off, wonderful. This is where you're long. Invalidation under here. Go under, close, short. Bosh, bosh, bosh. On the assumption it doesn't just fuck straight off. How long have I been trading? Oh, I've never traded HMRC. These are all educational videos, tweets, live streams. Never traded in my life. Max Payne is 28k. Yeah, for decades. I don't see how that will happen. We will have a fairly explosive move. And yeah, you can either take a 50-50 directional bet, or you can hope that you're here while it's happening and you can jump on board. So, or front run levels that you're looking at to participate, which is exactly what I've done. Do I want a long here? No. Do I want a short here? No. Okay, where am I interested in? Here, done. Set some alerts, fuck off and do something interesting. Really not that difficult. Look at LDO, Jesus Christ. That's brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. But imagine if it did. I know, there'd be... Crypto Twitter would go literally fucking insane. CFX is a good one, I think, to have on your radar. It's absolutely wild in terms of beta, though. Absolutely wild. But obviously, what we got the old Osaka pump earlier, didn't we? Down here. Up $2 next month. This is how SHIB died. Shall I retweet that? Just with my SHIB tweet. To be honest, I'd be more tempted to do that with Hex than try and indirectly pump my own little positions. Oh, an XRP actually. If the daily closes like that, it looks like fucking horseshit. Like, for context, I honestly, it's one of the only swing shorts that I am really tempted to take. It would actually be to range lows, but obviously I wouldn't be greedy. I would be tempted to take some off, you know, anywhere down here. But I think given my read on BTC and ETH BTC in particular, I don't think I can just take it. But in a normal circumstance, that daily rejection of this very clean level is very, very nice. So do with that what you will. Hex Inu, next big thing. Twitter integration soon. Probably. That's one of the millions of shitcoins that are, you know, in my replies. And Floki, you know, any more Doge stuff. It's got a really nice invalidation on it. XRP to $1. $589, my friend. Don't shortchange me on XRP like that. Right. Well, I think that's enough source for one day. I think we've covered quite a bit of stuff. Anyone playing Sol? The kind of long forgotten layer one? Get a bit sorry for it, to be honest. Yeah, boys and girls. Unless there's any questions, I'll give you 2 minutes to ask them. Saw a phone coming in hot. Yeah. My margin calls direct through the Sol phone. For the collapse. All the influencers are talking Sol's a 1k coin. Yeah. I mean, the fair value of most of these coins is 0. Let's be honest. There's nothing most of these coins can't do at 1% of the price that they are now. Yeah, no, I agree. You'll see it just, and that's why I love Spaghetti, is that you'll see Sol just have a rotation out of absolutely nowhere, and as soon as you start to see it veer off, you know, while everything else is doing nothing, it's probably go time. Yeah, so we'll love you and leave you all. Have a very happy Easter if you celebrate it. And good luck trading this wonderful market. Let's take a moment to celebrate that we made money from a logo changing from a bird to a dog. And count our blessings. Catch you all soon.
He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.